Hey guys, Kara here, and today I just want to talk a little bit about the containers. They're pretty self-explanatory, but I think it's important that you know some of the basic distinctions between them. Each color is a different food group. It makes it easy. If you want, take some tape and label the side of your container with fats or fruit. That can make it easy as well. Eventually, though, here's what I'll say. Once you do the 21-day fix for one round, it becomes like second nature. It becomes a lot easier. So just for this first round, my suggestion is if you can keep it as simple as possible, if you can not schedule stuff, like, I would say no to dinner plans, like that type of a thing. I mean, this is a lifelong plan, and you're going to be able to eat out. But for the first round, if this is your first time, I think doing it with fidelity is so important. So I want to talk today about the containers. So each container has a list in your book. They start on page 24, and it says what you can eat. There's just a quick distinction. I mean, you guys can read, but I just want to tell you some distinctions. Now, if it fits in the container, you can eat it. Things like kale or spinach that wilt down, I mean, you can always be a little bit more liberal with that one if you want to measure it after you cook it or before. But if it says in an amount, like baby carrots, you can have 10 of those. So it doesn't mean fill the container with carrots. It means you can have 10. On the purple page are fruits, just some notes that I love to share. Now, salsa is a purple. It's not in this book. Maybe they updated it in the newer books. Salsa is a purple. I only count salsa if I eat a whole container of it, which I could on like a potato and a baked potato, or if it's salsa and a baked potato, it's good. But if I have like a teaspoon, I don't always count it. Now, banana, that's always the big shocker. Half a banana is one purple, not a full banana. So make sure you pay attention to that. And the other thing is tomato sauce. So if you're cooking, so tomatoes are a green. Tomato sauce, like pasta sauce, is a purple. Just an FYI. That wasn't in my original book. Moving on to the red. The other thing I didn't get to say is that these are the most nutritionally dense from the top to the bottom. So if you're like, I want to be as clean as possible, I'm going to eat stuff at the top and not really touch stuff at the bottom. I sometimes give that suggestion to people who've hit a plateau. That's always a good one to go with. Cool things to note, 2 eggs is one red. That's pretty cool. As for egg whites, it's 4 egg whites, which if you're using like liquid egg whites, is a lot. Do not use egg beaters. Those are chemical. I don't know what those are. Don't eat those. But they do have like cartons of liquid egg whites. Those are totally cool. The other thing, yogurt. You don't want all the stuff like fruit on the bottom, and go plain 2% Greek. Those are kind of your best options. And if you're going tofu or veggie burger, try to go non-GMO. Moving into our yellows, our carbs, our favorite yellow containers. Sweet potatoes are my favorite way to eat a yellow. I was in the lowest bracket, which meant I only got 2 a day. So I was really particular about those. So I made them oatmeal for breakfast and sweet potatoes for lunch. And it actually really taught me a lot about the different carbs I wanted to eat. But note, things like black beans are yellow. The other thing I want to share, not all vegetables are green. Corn and peas are yellow, okay? So those are starchier. So please read that page over. And again, on the bottom, things like waffles, pancakes, English muffins, tortilla, they don't fit in the container unless you want to mess it all up. But it says, about the size. Moving to the blue, please make sure you're counting out your nuts. And these are most of your cheeses. I also suggest for cheese to not buy low fat. Buy full fat. Buy real cheese. When you see low fat or fat-free or sugar-free on a label, that means they put a lot of chemicals in it to take out the real stuff to make it that way. Things like Splenda and other artificial ingredients and sweeteners are really bad for you. Go for the real stuff. We get scared. We think fat is bad. It's not bad in moderation if you're eating the right fats. So just know that. As for the oranges, I typically use them for sunflower seeds or your dressings. So on page 56, you can get all the dressings. Does not come with a teaspoon. My favorite teaspoon is peanut butter, and I will use all 4 of mine on peanut butter, or cooking oil if I'm cooking. I cook with coconut oil. I think it's the best one to go with. That was a really quick review of the containers. Today, I want you to read over the containers and post any questions here. This group is for you to ask questions. There's no dumb question. So, for example, pickles. They're not in the book. I love pickles. Where the heck do pickles fit? I don't know. I count them as a free food. Is that bad? I don't know. But they're not anywhere. So ask the questions. If you're like, hey, this isn't an exhaustive list. I really like to eat this crazy vegetable that isn't on this list. What do you think? I don't know, it's probably green. But post it here because maybe somebody knows. Alright guys, I'm so excited. We're getting so close to getting started. Are you guys pumped? It's going to be awesome. Have a great one and reach out with questions.